Hey, welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Before we get into the segment, by the end of this video, I want you to do a few things for me. First of all, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please do. If you don't like it, hit unlike. It's okay. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Sometimes, as Jimmy Doe would say, you find yourself unsubscribed and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell right next to it so you can be notified when a new video is being dropped. Whoop, there it is. And more importantly, the super chat will be on for this segment. So if you want to donate toward the efforts of Bob TV, that's freely up to you. Any amount will help toward the growth of this channel. My name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Let's get into it. Well, good day. Welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I hope you can hear me because people keep saying my sound is down. And I was going to buy a new camera, and I decided not a new camera. I got enough cameras. Matter of fact, I haven't even tried out the new ones. But I decided to work on the mic that I already got. I have a very high-quality Rode Mini mic, which should be putting out good sound, and I realized I need to go into the settings in the computer to do that. That's why I'd rather deal with something where I can deal with the settings built into the phone. But nevertheless, we're here. Welcome to the Rob Report. I'm your host, Bob TV, and we're going to talk about a subject today that might kind of tick y'all off about me. Heck, some of y'all unsubscribing, and if you ain't unsubscribed, YouTube is going to unsubscribe you, so I might well go ahead and tell you what I think about this situation. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. Go double check to make sure you are. Every week I say go check because these fools at Google will unsubscribe you without your permission. Hit the notification bell. That's a little bell. And make sure it's on always. That way when I put out a video, you'll know when it's dropped. Whoop, there it is. And, more importantly, like, share. And if you want to support the stream, you can always donate to the PayPal information on there. I prefer PayPal at Bob TV NYC. Now, I am trying to get another mic. I'm trying to get the Rode Shure. Not the Rode Shure, but the Shure MX7 or something podcast mic where I can control the vocals. I can control the monitoring from the microphone. I'm going to be working on that, and I'm going to get it, but I always want to give people opportunity to do their part to put into it, whether it's 10, 50, or if you got the entire money where you can buy it and mail it to me. But hey, that's just me believing big. Okay. But we're going to get into this topic right here. And I'm going to tick some of y'all off about this. Okay. I'm going to tick you off. Okay. There was a song by former gospel singer Tone, who is now LGBT pop singer, B. Slade. I got to give dude credit where credit is due. Dude has a voice off the chain. And before he moved over to the name B. Slade, look it up, Tone, Tone, and an X. He did this song called Lord Make Me Over. And it basically say, Lord, I know. Just keep working on me. Keep working on me so I can get better. I know I messed up, but keep working on me so I can get better. Well, I got a feeling AOC knows she messed up with the Medicare for All situation. My thing is, you can know you messed up, but never really move toward doing the right thing still. Sometimes you don't realize what you did was wrong and you need to fix it. Some people know they did wrong and try to move on and forget it. You ain't going to forget that because we are not going to let you forget. Most people are not like God. We're not going to forgive. We're going to stay on your behind. And this is something you can't forget. The Medicare for All situation for most progressive and most Americans might add, including black people, and I know some people say it shouldn't be your priority. It's not my priority. My priority is reparation, but I think it's important that this country, like any other modern country, don't charge people for medical services. Stop giving money to the pharmaceutical industry and big insurance companies and greedy doctors who think they all that. Lord, make me over. Now, look, recently I bumped into AOC, and And we kind of got into a little talk about reparations. And I happened to be in Pelham Park area. I used to live in the area where she popped up. And matter of fact, a block away from where she popped up. So I saw her, I said, all right, let me ask her a question about reparations. Since she is a woman of color in the House, very popular, see what she has to say. Because people who are happy and excited about her need to know where she stands on certain subjects. So for my black voters and for black Latino voters, when I say black, you mean half your father was black, ADOS, and the other half probably was Latino from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican, thing like that. We get down like that. It's just a fact. Let's see what she had to say when she came down here. And I'm going to try to fast forward it because it's a whole bunch of just meet and greet. And, I don't think she had a town hall to hear the needs. I think she just came to meet and greet, help knock on doors. Now, before we go into it, I've campaigned for AOC. I wanted Crowley out. Crowley wasn't doing jack. AOC poised to do stuff, talk the good game, and I'd rather believe a person to talk the good game and see if they can back it up versus a person who don't talk and don't do jack. You don't even talk a good game, man. At least say something. But then again, sometimes it's good to have a person that say they're not going to do nothing for you so you can get rid of them. And so here she is in town, and this is the encounter. Well, guess who we got in this area right now getting some media spotlight? It's Alexandria. All right, so yada, yada, yada. She was greeting people, talking to people about certain subjects, Most of them was just happy to see her and wanted to take pictures. They didn't ask no questions, not whatsoever. Lo and behold, here I go. This Negro got to be asking me questions. And I want to say, where was my black people at? I ain't seen no black people at that event. I seen most of the Latinos and maybe some Russians. But where were the blacks? Like Clayton Biggs would say, where was that black? Where was the blacks? Well, I was one black man there, and black should have been there. But I think this was an impromptu meeting. Nobody knew she was coming because a lot of us would have been there. But here's me talking to her. Oh, boy. AOC, do you support reparations for American descendants of slaves?
Yes.
Cash payment?
Yes, I'm
All right, so my first question is, do you support reparations for descendants of slave and cash payments? Here we go. Listen closely. AOC, do you support reparations for American descendants of slaves?
Yes.
Cash payment?
Yes, I'm a co-sponsor.
Yep, well. Yep, well. Just leave it, yes. Yep, well. Yep, well is acknowledgement that you said something that was good, but it was something that might get you in trouble. Yep, well. So I got to cover up. I got to oscillate. I got to give you some word salad. You hungry? Here you go.
An HR 40 as well, which is the
That's the study.
With Sheila E. Jackson.
Shouldn't you? Sheila E. Michael Jackson. This should have been studied a long time ago by now?
Oh, it absolutely should have. It absolutely should.
But do you support cash payments?
Well, I think there's a...
Do you support cash payment? Here we go. Well. Do I support cash? Do you support cash payment?
There's a wide range, so when
There is no wide range. We determine the cash payment. You owe us money. The judge, when you go to court, when you run over somebody's family member and that family sues Walmart, the judge don't determine how you're going to get your money. The judge determined that you're going to get some money, and he determined how much. He don't determine what kind. We're going to make Walmart pay you about $100,000 in education. We're going to tell them put down $10,000 for a home. No, they don't do that. So who are y'all to tell us how we're going to be paid back? No, Walmart, You owe them $2 million. Yeah, but they're going to take that too. It's none of your business what they do with their $2 million. You owe it to them. Pay them. Here she go.
We talk about the conversation of reparations. I think
Yeah, just for American descendants of slaves.
I think it could include that, but we also have to.
I think it could include them. There's no think, there's no include. It is all about them. The reparations is all about them. You didn't come out here, you didn't come here and work for free for 300-400 years. They didn't throw your children into the and fed them to alligators. They didn't rape your daughters and rape your sons. They didn't turn you into a baby maker machine trying to reproduce you like you're a cattle so they can have more hands on the slave field. And also, once you start producing as a machine, they try to find a way to shut the machine down through inoculations, through penicillin, through shots, through fake vaccines.
To talk about investment in our, like, concentrated investment in our hospitals, schools, and infrastructure.
That's not none of the question I asked you about hospitals, schools, and infrastructure. This is where I lost my faith in the AOC. Now, some of you guys can get mad at me, but she really hit me hard because she really, really don't give a crap about my community. Now, she'll give a crap for all communities because that's what the Democratic Party do. They want to make it, we care about all communities. Why? I told you before, anytime they reach out about getting something done for all people, they're doing that as a mafioso tactic. That I did something for you, now you do something for me. I gave you this, I gave you that, I gave you that, now you do something for me. It's not because this is the right thing to do. We need to repair the breach. We need to make the crooked road straight. None of that. It's the right thing to do. Governor Cuomo didn't do gay marriage in New York because it was a right thing to do. He did it because it was about money. And here she is. See, y'all fell out with AOC or Medicare for all. I fell out with her over this. I took it personal. See, understand this. We talk about support all the time. I support what you do. I don't support you. I support what you do, not you. If you do right by my people, and you're doing right by my people, you got my support. But it's based on what you do concerning my people. If you don't do right by my people, I'm not supporting you. I'm not going to cover you. I'm not going to back you up. And if you do harm to my people, I'm definitely not supporting you. And a lot of you people got mad at me because I wouldn't support Joe Biden for president. Because that dude harmed my people. Kamala Harris harmed my people. Trump would harm my people too. He harmed my people, been harming my people since day one, since he's been in the real estate game here in New York. So I didn't vote for him either. I don't vote for people who on purpose harm people. Well, you got to give them another chance. Come on, Rob. Come on, Rob. Give him, you got to go, get on the bus. Get on the bus, man. I'm trying to blow that bus up. You got to, get on, man. Why am I going to give a snake another chance to bite me again? And why would you? Well, we got to. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. And it ain't got nothing to do with Republican and Democrat. It's you. It's what you just said. It's what you just did.
So many other systems as well.
Yeah, I agree with that, but shouldn't it be separate?
Well, they are. I think they are separate, but
I think, well, they are. See, one of the things about a lot of politicians, they talk to you as if you don't know anything, and they know it all. Like she was talking to the people in the audience about redlining. I mean, she talked to them like she just found out about what redlining was. Most of these people on the streets probably know more about redlining than you ever known, young lady. But these people figure they're politicians, they know more than you. Some areas you do, some areas you don't. But let me keep going.
I'm absolutely willing to support that.
I'm absolutely willing to support that. I'm willing. I'm willing. Well, Rob, she said she's willing. No, ain't no willing. Do you? Back to the photography.
Oh, there we go. I asked her. You got the answer.
All right. Now, don't get me wrong. She does come to town periodically. She does meet with the community periodically. Well, she came down a few days ago, and she went down here and protest with the union workers at the Teamsters here in Hunts Point. Now, mind you, when I first moved here, I fell in love with a young lady and her kids, and we stayed on Seneca Avenue, which is about a few blocks from Hunts Point. So I know that area very well. We had a dog. The dog name was Pepsi, and I would take Pepsi for a walk every morning before breakfast. And me and Pepsi would walk down there to Hunts Point. A lot of prostitutes, lot of aggressive prostitutes. I mean, very aggressive. You think your dog? What you and your dog doing? You want to have some fun? Me and my dog? She want to do that to my dog? What you gonna do with the dog? But she said me and my dog. She didn't say nothing about me. She said me and my dog. The dog was like, huh? Well, anyway, she recently came down and rallied. She skipped the inauguration to come rally. And I'm like, why did she skip the inauguration to come rally? Because understand this, I am a union activist. I'm a union organizer. I go to union rally. I go to just about every rally I can, even if I'm not affiliated with them. I done been to 32 BJ SEIU. I done been to 1199 rally. I've been to TWU 100, 200, 300, 900. I done been through SEIU 17, like whatever. I've been through Unite here. I've been to Teamsters. I've been through them all. Healthcare United. I mean, Nurses United. I done been to all these rallies. Never really seen AOC at any of these rallies. Now, mind you, I was in a rally where we were, let me get myself back up here. Give me a moment. I was at a rally and was doing a rally with the airport workers there at JFK. Company by the name of Yulin of America, horrible, trashy company, don't want their workers unionizing. Now, don't get me wrong, the airport have a union contract with 32 BJ for everybody working the airport, and you don't take care of those people, they're going to get rid of you. You're going to get raises increase in 23, they're going to be $19 an hour minimum wage. They just passed the Healthy Terminal Act. 32 BJ lobbied for that. We're pushing for 10 paid PTO days off, personal days off. Why? Because we got upset with companies like Yulin making their workers take their sick time and use it for vacation because they never gave out vacation time. By law, you're supposed to be paying for their uniform. They wasn't paying for their uniforms. Recently, they won that lawsuit. So there's a lot of things these horrible companies still do. So the rally, the event was on the same day that AOC, the same day that Bernie Sanders was supposed to come to Long Island City. And you remember that was by the Queensboro Bridge, opposite of Queensbridge Project, you know, the home of Nas, and you know, Mobb Deep and all those guys, Roxanne Shante, you know, that area. So he came out there, beautiful park, hundreds of thousands of people. Had to be at least 30,000 people. Packed out. Now, SEIU invited both of them to attend. I told SEIU to tell them, you want our support, you need to be at that. When you leave that rally, come to the airport and support these workers. Because our support are the workers. Come and support them and shout Yulin down and shame them out. Now, this is the same day. Once the event is over with, just come by the airport. Ain't nothing but 15 minutes. Take 10 minutes to say something. Get on a plane and you out. 9 times out of 10, you probably caught your plane out of that airport anyway. Come back. Spend some time with the workers. Get on the megaphone. Now, I had somebody say this to me, and they said, look here, Rob, they can't do both, man. I mean, these people busy. They busy. They ain't got time to be going to a rally and try to push to become president and then turn around and come to a union rally and push for the workers. Why not? I was there when Bernie Sanders was endorsed by TWU. Hillary Clinton just knew TWU was going to endorse her. Well, they endorsed Bernie Sanders. Guess what? Bernie Sanders was at that meeting because he needed that endorsement. And not only did he finish with his speech, he left, went up the street, and campaigned and rallied with the workers, communication workers union. Why? Because I was there. I got pictures. He was there, rallying. So you can't tell me you can't do both. You better do both. You got to do both. Well, AOC nowhere around. Bernie Sanders sent a tweet. Thank you, Bernie, but your butt should have been there. Both of you should have been there. And what makes that? AOC didn't even endorse Cory Bush. Why did she endorse Cory Bush? Because probably Nancy Pelosi told her, look, don't be endorsing no activists to sit in these seats. But I thought you were activists. Now, I know I'm going on and on. My point is, how come all of a sudden she wants to become a union leader? She wants to campaign and shoot and run her mouth for unionism. She shows up at a union event. Why? Why did she show up for this event? Now, don't get me wrong.
Guess who we got in this area?
Don't get me wrong.
It's Alexandria.
She had some great things to say. Great things to say, but I find it quite a convenience. Quite suspicious that you did not you say you didn't go to Joe Biden's inauguration because you wanted to support a union rally. Okay, but let's say she had some right things to say. Don't get me wrong. But why are you really there? That's my point.
Everybody gotta eat every day.
That's right.
Every day. And so just like the hospital is essential to us, our food distribution is essential to us. It's the poor. It's the base of our economy. We need nurses. We need people loading trucks. We need everybody, and we need you. And we gotta pay you like we need you, because we do. You are not replaceable. You are not expendable. You are valuable, and you are valued, and we love you. And just like Danny said, that's the solidarity of our actions that are going to get us through. It is sticking together. A lot of people, they talk about my past. I used to be a waitress.
My daughter's a waitress.
And
an unemployed waitress now because of the pandemic. That's where my daughter. She was here on the picket line the other day. And she's very upset that I'm standing next to you and she's not here.
But here's the thing about restaurants is that, and not all of them, but the one that I worked in, it was right to work. We couldn't have a union. Yeah. And so we had to experience.
No, okay, let me stop. So since you know this, AOC, do you realize that 32BJ, the same union that asked you to come out to the airport, also is trying to unionize fast food workers? And one of our targets is Chipotle. We asked you to come out to those events. I don't remember. I mean, folks, I could be wrong. I'm just telling you from my own memory. I don't remember you out there fighting for those waitresses, fighting for those bus people. I don't know, but you came from there. Where were you? We've done multiple rallies. We've walked from Union Square. We walked from Chelsea all the way to Union Square for fast food workers. We constantly do rallies for fast food workers. Where were you?
Things like be forced to punch out before your work is done. We had to be paid less than a living wage.
That ain't right.
We got exposed to sexual harassment and other forms of harassment and degradation with no one to stick up for us. And so what changes that? A union changes that. Solidarity changes.
And not just a union, AOC. politicians who are supported by the unions, politicians who are beholden to the unions. SEIU endorsed you anyway. SEIU endorsed Joe Biden anyway, knowing that the chance of anything getting done is slim to none. They did it anyway because it was better than Trump. But are you about it, or you just talk? Well, Rob, she talking now because she out there at the event. My thing is, what you going to do when you get back to Washington, D.C.? How are you going to put the pressure on Cuomo? How are you going to put the pressures on these companies? How are you going to put the pressure on Cuomo to stop companies from coming into New York, your district, your state, your city, and treating the workers like trash? Because there's another company that I used to work for, Global Contact Services. They treat their workers like trash. These down south boys come out, they come out there and treat New Yorkers like nothing. But Cuomo don't do much about it. Don't say much about it. The only person that ever came to their aid was Tish James. Didn't even have de Blasio on our side.
Is that standing together changes that? And, Danny talked about how this action is not a coincidence. My heart and my family and in our world, I come from a spiritual family. We don't always believe in just coincidences, right? And so I don't believe that this action started on Martin Luther King Day as a coincidence. Because I thought about what you all are doing today. And I thought about one of the last speech that Martin Luther King gave to the mountaintop. And what was he doing on that day? What was he doing?
Fighting for labor, sanitation.
Thank you. Woo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's what we need. Now we can hear you. Help her out with that.
Soundproof.
There we go.
Hey, she don't even know how to use a freaking megaphone. At least Bernie know how to use a megaphone. Rob, you're picky, right? Rob, you're picky about some of the small things. Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
I do not believe that it is an accident that this action started on Martin Luther King Day. It is not an accident. It's not a coincidence. And I think about one of the last remarks that Martin Luther King gave, and it was a speech called To the Mountaintop.
That's right.
Now, we know about the struggle for civil rights, but, one of the things that we're talking about is how often King's legacy gets whitewashed and looked through with rose-colored glasses.
That's right.
Because what was King doing on that last day in that last speech?
Sanitation work.
He was standing up.
Gotta squeeze it. Squeeze the thing, girl. Squeeze the thing.
Just like Jumani said, standing up with sanitation workers and the union for sanitation workers, demanding better working conditions, demanding an end to poverty, demanding an end to war, demanding a better material and just outcomes.
And she probably just heard that speech recently. And also, he was running two campaigns. He's also on the other side was talking about we need economic development for black people. We need economic equality. He talked about a UBI as well as true restoration, land property owning, land distribution, the whole 9 yards toward black people.
For all people in the United States.
Right here is why I do what I do.
That's
Right
right.
here. This is why I do what I do. This
no.
is why I'm out here. Right
That's
here.
right. No, too, that you're not just standing up for that baby. You're standing up for babies all across this country.
That's right.
Because just like there are workers here, there are workers, food workers in every pocket of the United States who deserve more than $1,
That's right.
who deserve more than a raise. They deserve health care. They deserve justice. They deserve good working worker rights. And that's what we're here to fight for today. So I want you all to know that when you're standing on this line, you're not just asking for $1. You are asking for transformational change for your lives and for the lives of every food worker across this country, for kids of food workers across this country. Because there's a lot of things upside down right now in our economy. And one of those things that are that's upside
Now, I can't go into the whole speech because this thing about 23 minutes. But no, let me keep going. No, it's not 23 minutes.
One of those things that's upside down is the
Now, I didn't know this was going on, but I would have definitely pulled up. But she's out here, so I give her credit for coming. But again, to me, looks mean everything. And they are everything. And right now, she has to put herself in a position to be a fighter, to show that she's a fighter. I didn't hear her mention one time about Medicare for all, but we're going to get to that because Medicare for all will solve a lot of this for the workers. Let me just get to it right now while I'm here. Medicare for all. Right now, the average worker spends about $3,000 to as high as $1,000 a month that they don't have on health care. Now, if we really, really pushed hard for Medicare for all, like I said, even though reparation and closing the wealth gap and true economic equality between blacks and whites has to take place, I do understand Medicare for all is a human right. No country should be profiting off the health and sicknesses of people. Here's the math, though. $300 to $1,000 a month. $300 to $1,000 a month is at least $700 to $12,000 a year saved. If we eliminated Medicare for all, if we push Medicare for all, and every company, I'm telling you, because I've union negotiated before, no union organizing team, no negotiation team wants to fight an energy draining back and forth, knock you upside the head fight over Medicare. We have to go back and forth like a Cameo song. Y'all don't know that. It's an old Cameo song, back and forth. We have to go back and forth for just to negotiate a certain amount for the company to pay and a certain amount for the employees to pay. And it's always the employees on the lower end don't pay as much as the employee on the higher end. The employee on the higher end pays a lot and the company pays less. That's why companies enjoy hiring people who don't have families. The money saved for Medicare for all would bring you that extra dollar, maybe $2 an hour. Because like I said, in New York, insurance is freaking high. We're talking about thousands that you don't have. So the same woman who didn't want to push Nancy Pelosi for a floor vote, it's the same woman out there saying, give them $1, give them $1. Well, if you would have pushed Medicare for all, look, they need to give them $1. In New York, the minimum wage should be at least 20. At least 20, not 15. Heck, it should be at least 30. But I'm just being modest. 20. Definitely shouldn't be 15. Not living in New York when the rent is too high. People rooming paying over $1,000 a month. To get a one-bedroom apartment in New York, if you don't have a co-op or something like that, it's going to cost you almost $2,000 a month. And that's a cheap one. Greatest city in the world, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world, but very expensive when it comes to your basic needs. So I applaud AOC for going out to this rally with the Teamster. Look out for Jumaane Williams. He's an up-and-coming. He's the city council president for New York. He's soon going to become the public advocate. Oh, he is the public advocate. Let me stop there. He's the public advocate for New York. He is the public advocate. He's the public advocate for New York. And, usually go from public advocate to mayor. And, Tish James is Attorney General right now, and this brother, he works within the community. So he's up and coming, but I got to stay on him too. And I will be on him about making sure that the black community have their needs met, because they are not. Yet here we got AOC with the megaphone declaring y'all need to give them $1. I'm so proud that you finally start going to some union rallies. Now, keep up the good work. Now, to me, it's a good thing for her to do that, but I think the reason she's doing that is very evident. You took a big hit, you lost your popularity, you got hit low, and you got to find some way to do a makeover. You got to find some way to make yourself look good. On top of that, you got death threats. Let me get to that. Let me get to that. Yep, AOC got some death threats. Texas man who tweeted, "Assassinate AOC is facing charges in the Capitol riot," FBI says. And he need to be locked up. You don't threaten the life of a politician. You could threaten their seat, but you don't threaten the life. Capitol rioter charged with threatening to assassinate Representative Ocasio-Cortez. Now, this is the real reason why she ain't go to no Joe Biden meeting. That's the real reason why she didn't go to the inauguration. It's not because she wanted to go out here and support these guys. Get out of here with that stuff. She wasn't trying to support these guys, man. I don't want to hear that mess. You know, it was just a convenience. She should support these guys, but no, her going there is scary. I get it. I get it. That attack on the Capitol shook her to a core that folks wanted her, hate her guts so bad, they wanted her dead. And I'm quite sure, AOC, you're not the only politician that has to face that fear. Imagine what Barack Obama had to do, but he wasn't running home. Well, look here, I just got some people that just disagree. That's all. You know, and I got people want to kill me, but they killed me, so I laugh at them. So I get it. You fear your life, so you didn't go to the inauguration. That, to me, that's the reason why she didn't go to the inauguration. And I believe her campaign, her publicity team saw an opportunity to use these things to give her a makeover. All right, you lost the hit on Medicare for all. Your popularity dipped. They're calling you a sellout. You lost a lot of your base, and I mean a lot. We got to find someone to make it over. So let's make you up to be the next Bernie Sanders, which, case in point, I see this crap pop up. Let me see, can I find this? When I saw this, I laughed my behind off. Cardi B says Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez better run for president when she turned for 35. Cardi B, how about you make sure she gets some legislation passed before she's running? At least Tulsi Gabbard pushed for legislation to get passed. A lot of it good legislation. Mind you, she just like AOC, trashy answer on reparations. But at least she's getting some stuff passed. At least she's trying to keep free speech. At least she's trying to make sure Julian Assange and all these people be freed. At least she's not going around saying we need to rein in the media. And she's responded. AOC responded with her own spin on WAP. I'll say WAP could mean something, whack blank president. Because right now, you would be a whack blank president, because right now you talk the talk, but you won't walk the walk. You'll be another president that sit there and tell everybody what you're going to do and don't do it. Now, I'm not finished with her. Let's keep going. I'm glad she went to the event. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad. And her words are very nice. Very nice words. Very nice words. I'm hoping these people are inspired. I'm hoping these people are encouraged. So recently she goes on Cuomo. She need to be talking about how Cuomo's brother has a Medicare for all measure on his desk that he won't even entertain. How he has Medicare legislation on his desk that passed the assembly that he won't even entertain. But no, She's coming up here to make herself look good. Like to hear it? Here it go.
Point with
Yep, I was in
workers
South Bronx.
fighting for minimum wage increase, mandatory minimum wage in the South Bronx. Why? Do you hate Joe Biden? Why were you there?
Now, mind you, we already have mandatory minimum wage. Minimum wage in New York is 15, been 15 for almost 2 years. Right now, the only people that's really going up are people who just decide to go up for the good because they love their workers or because they're forced to go up, like the airport. So $15 minimum wage. All these workers are asking for another $1 an hour. And I'm telling you where they can get that $1 an hour from right now. If we were to get it passed right now. Now, look, Medicare for all is going to take some time to push, but it's going to always take time to push if you don't start pushing it now. She flopped up on this thing. She should have manned up and said, look, Nancy, it ain't personal, it's business. You know, look, Mama Bear, I see you. But if you ain't pushing Medicare for all, if you don't put this to a floor vote, I can't vote for you. And she should have went as far as saying, look, my popularity is 10 times higher than yours. If you don't push Medicare for all, I'm going to be forced to run against you. So Cardi B, instead of telling her she need to run for president in 2024, or as soon as she turned the age of consent to become president, how about you tell her to stand up against Nancy Pelosi and threaten her seat, and threaten to take her seat in order to get some stuff done?
No, you know, in New York City, 60% of all of the produce in New York City and in the region comes through the Hunts Point produce market. And these workers that have been risking their lives every single day this past year in the pandemic, who are loading the trucks, getting this produce so that, you know, putting food on our tables, are struggling to feed their own kids. And they're asking for something very simple in a time when the grocery industry and the delivery industries are experiencing record profits as we all stay home during COVID. And they're asking for a $1 raise.
Now, I'm sorry to keep stopping. You'll of America Airport Company, record profit. Delta, record profit. All these major airlines at JFK, at LaGuardia, at EWR, New Jersey, Newark Airport, all of them were record profit. Yeah, you work so hard, bust your butt, to get a stimulus deal passed that paid the money that they didn't need. They were in record profit. But you didn't stand up for them when they needed you to stand up. So how come all of a sudden you want to stand up for these people, which I'm glad you did? Why all of a sudden there's a change, which I'm glad there is. But like I said, a lot of changes have motives, and it's not genuine. Is she being genuine, or is this a part of a makeover strategy? That is my question.
A $1 raise from a corporation that enjoys plenty of public tax benefits and giveaways. And it is frankly shocking and embarrassing that there is even a question here in giving these folks $1 an hour in a raise. They deserve it. They deserve to have their issue amplified. And the Teamsters 202 team out there has been doing incredible work. They sounded the alarm. They needed some help yesterday, and
now, I'm glad that she's giving the union props. I'm glad that she was there. I'm glad that she promoted this. But is this for their benefit or her benefit? Is it for their benefit or her benefit? Because she didn't see a benefit in going out there fighting for those workers at Union of America. She didn't see the benefit of fighting for those workers at Global Contact Services, which does the call center for the paratransit, making sure elderly people get to their doctor's appointments and things like that. She didn't see the need to support them. But Rob, she can't be everywhere. I mean, she got to do, you know, we got to shut up, man. She represent that area. So when them people stand up, you need to be there as just about every time. If you don't have no voting to do, your butt need to be there. You got a house here. You got family members here. When the vote is done, New York is only a 3-hour drive from D.C. Get your voting out the way, get home, and be ready to go to work the next morning. And half the time, they're not voting on stuff just about every day. Was it for the benefit of the workers, or was it for her own benefit? Well, it looked like it's for her own benefit now, because she gets to go on TV with one of the most popular news shows on TV and talk about her fight with working people. When I've yet to see her until today, which I'm glad to see her. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to see her there today rallying. But was it for her, or was it really for you? She wasn't rallying out there for those workers at the airport. How do I know? Because I was there. How do I know? Because I suggested they get in contact with those campaigns and say, look, if you want our endorsement, you need to be there. See, I was trying to get SEIU to use their freaking leverage against Bernie Sanders, against AOC, and force them to come to that event and shout out and support the workers. These politicians always hollering, support me, support me, support me. You got to support me. Where else you going to go? Support me, when you can't even support the workers who put you in that position in the first place. Now, I myself personally, and I can give you witnesses, told one of the leaders at SEIU, you need to tell Carl Bragg at the time, you need to tell Carl Bragg that he need to tell Bernie Sanders and tell AOC, when y'all come down to this meeting, make sure you swoop over to the airport for about 5-10 minutes, do a speech, call out Union America, get on your plane and go back. But don't you dare come back to this airport without calling out these companies. And if they can't do that, you don't endorse them. But who they gonna endorse? Trump? You ain't got to endorse nobody. Well, who told you got to? AOC couldn't even endorse Cori Bush. Now she got to see Cori Bush every day. And now I know she got the smile in her face all the time. She didn't even endorse Cori Bush. Cori Bush was at that same event in New York. Came all the way from St. Louis, Missouri. Came all the way from Missouri to New York to support that event at Long Island City. AOC and Bernie Sanders, they had that event that was packed out over there by Queensbridge, over 20,000 people, over there across the street from the homes of Nas, Mobb Deep, you name it. They grew up at that park. Yeah, they couldn't even swing over to support those workers after. How are we going to do our TV interview? We're going to meet some TV personalities. We're going to show up on The View. Are you doing this for your pleasure or for the workers? Well, let's let her keep talking. Just don't understand.
I am so thrilled for President Biden and Vice President Harris. It's great to drop the elect now and just say that they're a president and vice president.
What you so pleased about? What is a pleasure about that? What pleasure? Oh, you probably pleased because President Biden made sure he signed an executive order to get more people on the side of the Democrats. What do you mean? To get more Latinos on the side of Democrats. Now, understand, you're going to always have that rip between Latinos because some Latinos are Republican, they're conservatives, and some Latinos. See, Latino is really not even a race. It's really a region, but they've been adopted as a race. Because you got some Latinos from Cuba that heavily lean toward conservatism. So you can make... Remember I told you that the tactics of the Democratic Party is mafioso? You do something for me, kid. One day I expect you to do something for me. Don't worry about it now, but when the time come, if it come, do something for me. That's how it is. So she's happy that the legislation that Joe Biden just pushed boost up her community. But all those legislation that Joe Biden, and we're going to talk about this later, all those executive orders that he pushed, none of it did anything for black people. And black people the one put them in the White House. And black people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself putting these people in the White House before you ask for something in demand. I'm not saying you shouldn't put them in the White House, but always remember, voting is an exchange. You want my vote, what are you going to do to get it? And you gave away a free vote with nothing in exchange. Now he's in power. Look at how he's treating you so far. Well, Rob, you got to give him time. Well, look, the Latinos ain't telling him, Joe, no. One day one, he did a day one for Latinos. He did a day 1-2 for LGBTQ. Here it is now. It's January 24th. Nothing for black people. Nothing so far. Well, you got to give the man time to get the seat warm. Yeah, he got his seat warm enough to sign legislation for Latinos. They didn't put them in the White House. They did their part, but we put them in the White House. But man, stop.
And you know, I think the festivities were phenomenal.
The festivities. She wanted to talk about all this stuff between.
You knew that people.
You know, she was talking about all the, you know, the platitudes and all the symbolism and all that. I don't care about that crap. All I see is we got a lesser, not up in your face, toned down, look good in the suit bigot versus an out front orange, big red tie, all ugly in your face bigot. And she's celebratory of this. Yeah, man, I'm going to do another video, man. People like that dancing in the street. What the?
People would ask why you weren't there. This was a good cause from your perspective of dealing with your constituency, but this was supposed to be a show of force and unity, and you weren't there. Explain it.
Yeah, you know, I think we also had very real security concerns as well. As you mentioned earlier, we still don't yet feel safe around other members of Congress.
All right, so if you don't feel safe, then how come you are not lobbying for a certain aspect of the security sector of labor and put them in jobs in the White House? Why are you not pushing them to get better security? And there's no way, I mean, that lack of security was just crazy. Because had it been black people, man, it would have been beefed up. They would have had a helicopter. You wouldn't even made it across step one. I mean, I'm serious. This government treat black people like Kevin Hart's daddy, mama treated his daddy. You better not walk on up these steps.
How many are we?
I think a very considerable amount. A lot of members do not.
You really
feel safe.
think that colleagues of yours in Congress may do you dirty?
Now, understand this, people. I don't know how I feel in that situation. Look here. If I work in Congress and yet these people just break in and I don't feel safe, I'm sorry, I might get in trouble, but if people breaking in, if it's so easy for you guys to let these people come in and ramshack the place, my life is threatened. So I'm going to do what I need to do to protect. See, some people looking at this from one perspective and not the other. Now, don't get me wrong. It is illegal for you to bring guns into a government sector like that. It's illegal. But when you're just letting it easy peasy for people to come in and put our lives at stake, sometimes I may be tempted to take matters in my own hand to protect myself. Now, do that mean that you're going to fear your life? Of course. You might not like me. I may see that you don't like me and you're looking for an opportunity to take me out. Yeah, but also I may not be. It might not be for that. I just want to protect myself. Heck, I may even protect you. It goes back to that same debate about guns. Had it been guns in the school, we wouldn't have that mass killing. But if there's gun in the schools, you might have mass killings. You dang if you do, you dang if you don't.
One just tried to bring a gun on the floor of the House today. I believe it was Representative Andy Harris of Maryland. He tried to bring in a gun onto the House floor for individuals.
You said that twice. Was he trying to use it? Did he intend to use it? Now, don't get me wrong. He shouldn't have brought a gun in the first place. But I mean, because that's against the law. That's against the protocols. That's against the rules of the House and the Senate. You don't bring no gun. But if you actually feared your life, I could see why you would. Just like you, AOC, you feared your life. I could see why you being Jenny from the block, from the hood, from the Bronx, I could see why you probably would have brought a little burner there with you too. It's still wrong, but I can see why you would. That don't necessarily mean that they're going to use that on you. Then again, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't. It's still the same debate.
Who don't know, guns are not allowed in the District of Columbia, and certainly the House floor is there are separate House rules that prohibit the bringing in of firearms. Now, these are rules that date back to the Civil War, and these are individuals that are trying to sneak firearms either illegally or in direct violation of House rules. Why does a member of Congress need to sneak a gun?
Just like I said, because they probably fear their life too. You probably fear your life, and you probably believe that having a gun on you will make you feel safer just in case one of them nutwings come try to kill you, because they are trying to come kill you. So if you walk around the Bronx with a gun and you got it legally, I'm not mad at you, AOC. They trying to kill you, and you know they trying to kill you. They just locked up a dude for trying to kill you. So of course, the code of the streets is protect yourself. Somebody's out to get you, so you better take this just in case they roll up on you. Now, you know that's the code of the streets in the Bronx, so why would you think that somebody in Washington, D.C. may not have that same mentality? I'm quite sure in your mind you're saying, man, I wish I could have a gun on me, but because of the rules, I'm not going to go that way. I'm just not going to do that. If they get me, they get me. Some people not like that, girl. Some people like, yo, you roll up on me, you gonna recognize you rolled up on the wrong one. Doesn't mean they're trying to kill you. Doesn't mean they're out to get you, but then again, you never know. That's why that guy need to be prosecuted for bringing the gun on the House floor, but yet the whole the whole Capitol Hill in general should be on notice, should be punished, should be replaced with a greater, tighter security plan than what they had there. Because the reason that guy got a gun, 9 times out of 10 is because he feared somebody was going to kill him. 9 times out of 10, it wasn't to get one of y'all. And the reason why you won't get a gun is because you don't want to break the house rules. And I get it. But you know deep down inside, if there was no house rules, you'll probably get a gun yourself to protect yourself. Most people, they get guns to protect themselves. Most people are not getting a gun. People are not getting a gun to start trouble. They're there to protect themselves. I'm almost done.
Onto the House floor.
Do you think they're bringing it in there because they want to protect all of you from, insurrectionists like we saw a couple of weeks ago? Or do you think there really is a chance that you may be the enemy?
The moment you bring a gun onto the House floor in violation of rules, you put everyone around you in danger. It is irresponsible, it is reckless, but beyond that, it is in violation of rules. You are openly disobeying the.
And I understand that, AOC, and they probably know that. And they probably say, well, fool you on your rules because y'all letting these fools coming in here like it's free chicken dinner. Y'all got the doors open of your house like your mama did when Pastor was coming to the area. Pastor, you can just come on right in and get you some chicken. So when the government has it so wide open for somebody to come in and get them some chicken, what do you expect the chickens to do? So your target shouldn't be at that particular senator or your colleagues alone. It should be the whole doggone system. But no, you got to play this, hey, Republicans are horrible and we're good.
Rules that we have established as a community, which means that you cannot be trusted to be held accountable to what we've decided as a community. And so I don't really care what they say their intentions are. I care what the impact of their actions are. And the impact is to put all 435 members of Congress in danger. You know, he tried to
Now, are you saying the same thing about the Capitol Police? Are you saying thing about the National Guard or whoever you need to get to protect you all while you're there? Stop targeting one person and targeting the entire system. You can go after this one person, but it's a waste of your energy. The whole point is you don't have security there that you can depend on. And you need to beef it up to have security that you can depend on. And the reason this guy probably got a gun is because he can't depend on that security. You trying to make it seem like because he's a horrible Republican and he's trying to kill one of us. Majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, that is not the case. Not saying it can't happen. It can happen. You probably got some nut wings that probably want to take you out and hate you that much. And that's all you see. I fear my life. They got a gun. They don't like me. They're probably the part of that team that's trying to kill me. You got to see bigger than that, girl. Because they got a team on the outside that's trying to kill you all. And you ain't got enough security in the place to deal with that. So don't only take your anger out on this one person. You need to take your anger out on the whole system. But seem like to me you're getting some sympathy. And I get it. You deserve sympathy. Your life was threatened. But not to the point where you don't call out where you need to call out. It's not just him, it's them. Your Capitol security system need to be beefed up where these nutwings can't get in and threaten your lives. And then maybe that guy feel comfortable enough where I ain't got to keep no gun nowhere near me. Honestly speaking, he shouldn't have a gun with him on that freaking floor. But the man don't feel comfortable at this moment. He's scared too, just like you probably. Hey, yeah, but we got to make this about one side and one person instead of fixing the wrong. It's wrong to have guns, period. So to fix the opportunity or the ability or to make it safer for where somebody don't have to even worry about bringing the gun to work, let's just make sure that security tight. Now, like I said, I worked a job. And look, I got a security license. Okay? And I understand. You don't supposed to bring no gun to you on your job. And the reason you don't bring the gun on your job is because your job's supposed to be secure in the security at the job. The security should be able to handle any security measure that take place. Therefore, you have no need for a gun. But if you're all laxy-daisy and the security guard ain't doing jack, yeah, I mean, people just walking on in and, you already had people threaten, you already had people fight, you already had somebody get shot one time. You're gonna be thinking to yourself, man, I better have a gun on me. And you would be thinking that way. But that's a different story. No, it's not. It's the same scenario. The security was weak. We see how somebody can easily come in there and get you. Not just you, AOC, but all of you, even the Republicans. So since y'all ain't going to protect yourself, I'm going to have to protect myself. But you assume it's going to be somebody that's trying to get you. The shame shouldn't be just on that person. It should be on the whole system, AOC. But you're not saying nothing about that. Oh, you're not saying nothing about that. You're saying, oh, this guy coming on the floor and he's trying to get me or one of my colleagues, me.
Hand off his gun to another member who didn't have a license. And any responsible gun owner knows that you don't just hand off your gun to another individual. You have to clear it, etc. And that just goes to show, it doesn't matter what your intention is. If you are irresponsible, if you are trying to break rules, you're trying to sneak a firearm onto the floor of the House. I don't care if you accidentally set it off. I don't care if you intentionally set it off. I don't care if you don't set it off at all. You are endangering the lives of members of Congress.
Are you talking about one person or are you talking about the whole Capitol security? Where's the outrage to Capitol security? You talking about one person, you ain't mentioned Capitol security at all, girl.
And it is absolutely outrageous that we even have to have this conversation.
Well, you're going to keep having it.
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous that you got to have this conversation, but you got to have the conversation and you got to put the targets where the target need to be, not just on one person, but the whole entire system. And you ain't doing it. You just using it to talk about so you can show your prowess or your outrage or your offense. like I said before, make me over. Make me look like a fighter. Make me look, I'm caring about the protection of people. And I'm not saying she probably not. Now, let's talk about online media and how they're taking this situation right now, because they're not seeing what I see. Now, understand, AOC, Jenny from the block, Bronx girl, you know, got to bring the ruckus, took a hit on Medicare for all. Her popularity went down because she refused to threaten or feed Nancy Pelosi, the White Mouse, to the people, the snake, the people, by saying, look, either you're going to vote, you're going to do a Medicare for all vote, or I can't, and many of us are not going to support you for speaker unless we can get your word that you're going to push it. And you got every reason. And see, this whole thing, you out there with the workers, that's the reason why they need to have health care, so they can save that money to put in their pocket to do something else. You realize how much money you save if you had Medicare for all on the job? You save money. You're probably going to save, if not the same amount of money, but more money than you trying to get a dollar raise. Then you think about it, 8 hours a day, a dollar raise, 8 times 5 is 40. 40 times 4 is 260, right? 40 times 4, 280. Or is that right? I don't know. Less than $300. The average person paying on a monthly basis for insurance is $600 to $1,000. $300 is lowballing. So if you were pushing Medicare for all, the same fight, they would have their dollar extra in their pocket if Medicare for all end up being what the American people want and American people got. That's why we need to go back to ballot initiative. But you flopped on that. You didn't have the guts and the galls. You didn't want to offend your mama bear, and you took a hit. Now you're playing PR, in my opinion. All of this is television PR. You're trying to do a makeover. And people like Anna Kasparian is falling right along that line to make you look good.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez decided to skip Joe Biden's inauguration and instead go meet with striking workers in her district in the Bronx.
Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa.
Anna, whoa, Anna, are you in New York? Can you see beyond what you want to see? Well, Rob, you be looking for stuff. No, it's in my face. You took a hit. Your popularity took a dip. A lot of progressives left you on that issue because we see you as a person who talk about Medicare for all, but don't want to do it yourself, because when you had an opportunity to strike where the iron is hot, you decide to take the iron and put it in some cold ice water. And now you got to play PR. And this looks like a PR stunt to me. All of a sudden, when the union's been crying for you to come out there and support their union activism, and you never showed up, why? Because I'm at most of them. You didn't show up. But watch how they try to make you look like good participating in your makeover program.
Now, these are workers, this is referred to as the Hunts Point Market strike. And the reason why these employees are striking is because they are up for contract negotiations, and their union, luckily they're unionized workers, is demanding a $1 pay increase. Now, they believe they deserve a $1 pay increase because of the fact that they have been working incredibly hard in an industry that's incredibly necessary to put food on people's tables. And during a pandemic, that involves a considerable amount of risk. 6 workers at Hunts Point Market have died from coronavirus already. Hundreds of other workers have fallen ill as a result of the virus. And honestly, $1 A $1 increase in their wages is not an unreasonable thing to ask for. So AOC decided to actually show up as these workers were striking. She served them coffee. She was there to show them her support. She was speaking to them. And keep in mind, AOC is not the president.
Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa.
AOC is not the president, right? But mind you, every last one of them, that's their job to do. Don't come talk about no security. Don't come try to talk about this. Yes, she had a threat on her life, and that is horrible. But most of these politicians, they know they know people don't like him, and they know people gonna try to get at them. And that's why they have at least 1 or 2 bodyguards with them when they go into town. They hire them if they have to. But wait, Anna, whoa. $1. If she pushed Medicare for all, so you don't want to talk about this, Anna. You think this is a bad move, and you want to try to crap on Jimmy Dore and everybody else for pushing this. It was the right strategy, and this is why. This is a reason why. You got people trying to fight for $1 raise when you can actually save them $1 by pushing something that majority of Americans want, that majority of Americans demand. If you push it, you can save not only $1 an hour, you probably can save $2 an hour. No union wants to negotiate health care. It's hard, it's a waste of energy, and it's too cutthroat. You don't have to worry about that if we had Medicare for all, because not only will they have health care, especially even when they lose their job, they'll still have health care. More important, they'll save money that could be going toward the house, which if not equals $1, mainly more than $1.
And I say that because she doesn't have a security detail with her. She doesn't have Secret Service with her. She has so many people threatening her life on a regular basis, especially after what we experienced in the Capitol with the insurrectionists breaching the building and rioting. But she doesn't care about that. She's much more interested in meeting with.
No, she care about that. That's the real reason why she didn't show up at Joe Biden's rally. This is just an easy convenience, which is good. I can capitalize on this. At the same time, I can have a valid excuse not to go to the inauguration by capitalizing on a union rally. Yet I never seen her. Never. I live in the Bronx. I'm 10 minutes away on the bus from Hunts Point. I used to live in Hunts Point. Never, ever seen her at a rally. I've seen her out there passing out her flyers for election. Seen her out there talking for the people saying, vote for me again. Never seen her at a rally. Yet, I personally tried to get her to come to a rally, her and Bernie, and bring the people from the rally to the airport. Come on, let's go to the airport and support those workers at Hewlett America. It was good strategy. None of them took advantage of it. So don't come trying to make it seem like, oh, get out of here, Anna.
With these striking workers, and it's important to see that kind of support from lawmakers because.
Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa.
Anna. All I'm supposed to be doing that is their job, and if they don't do it, they don't need to be your representative. Her doing that is not, oh, it's good, it's great, it's honorable. They're supposed to do that. That doesn't do anything for me. Like I said, having a position of power, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, LGBT, it doesn't matter. It's what you do in the position of power. And she been in a position of power and she talked the game, but when it comes to her fighting for unions, I personally have not seen her in New York fighting for unions unless she sent a letter or something or maybe 1 or 2 tweets. But never been there. This is a first. I'm glad she's there. I'm just wondering what is the motive. Now, I expect her to do this more often. And whenever a rally happened, especially one of huge magnitude and she ain't there, I'm going to assume this was a publicity stunt.
Because it's difficult to be out there. It's difficult to take this kind of stance against your employer and demand better treatment. And just to give you a little more context, the New York Times writes that workers.
SEIU workers were in Connecticut. We're trying to rally the rest stop workers to become unionized. They were out there rallying last week. Nobody came out there to support them except local officials from the state and from the city. Nobody from the state of Connecticut and nobody from New York. And a lot of them live in New York.
Members of a powerful Teamsters local entered the 6th day of their strike on Friday today after negotiations over a 3-year contract broke down over pay. The union has asked for an increase of $1.60 per hour in each year of a 3-year contract, with $1 of the raise to go towards wages.
So they want $1.60 increase for the next 3 years, which $1 goes toward wage increase. So they're trying to get $3 within the next few years, and the rest of the money is going toward health care and things like that. That's usually how it go. But I'm saying if you push Medicare for all, you can have pretty much that. Look, I'm not saying don't make them pay more. You make them pay more. But you push on your politicians to try to alleviate some of the pain that's happening in your household. You push on them to bring some benefits to the working force that would cause you to have extra money in your pocket. Case in point, paid vacation, paid PTO time, paid sick time. That puts you in the ability that if you're sick, you ain't got to come out of your pocket or you ain't got to miss a day from work. You're still going to get your money. That's what this is all about. But like I said, I very rarely see AOC in this atmosphere of political fighting, especially when it comes to union organizing. Glad to see her there, but my question, I got one eye up like the rock. Why are you here? Why all of a sudden you're here? Glad you're here, but is it for you or is it really for them? And if it's for them, we're going to find out because it's a lot of them, and I want to see if you're going to be there for them too. Guys, I'm almost done.
Now, the markets management, a cooperative made up of 29 vendors, countered with an offer of 92 cents an hour each year, with 32 cents of the increase going to pay. I mean, look at you guys, look at the numbers. I mean, literally nickel and diming. They're workers who are putting their lives on the line. Yes, they're earning a paycheck, they're doing their jobs, but the stakes are higher right now.
So Anna wants to talk about the nickel and diming that these companies do. All these companies do nickel and diming, not just Hunts Point. All these companies do it. Union America is doing it for the airport workers there. You got Gateway, a whole bunch of companies at the airport. They're nickel and diming. Skyport nickeling and diming. You got people in transport. Everybody nickel and diming the airport. That's nothing new. It's nothing new, Anna. That's what they do, nickel and diming. And now you want to make this about union activism when it's really, why did not go to the inauguration? I believe, number one, because she's scared. Number two, that was a great opportunity to, knowing that there's going to be a rally going on in Hunts Point, that's a good reason to capitalize on why I'm not showing up for Joe Biden. Look, whether I rally or not, I wouldn't have showed up for Joe Biden. But she act like she's happy that they're president. She's excited about them being president, Anna. These people nickel and dime people all the time, and Joe Biden take money from nickel and dimers. He takes money from union busters, Anna. And y'all all supported him. All of you. Y'all pushed for people to support him. Heck, y'all nickel and dime. Y'all sitting up here getting all this corporate money, and at the same time, you're trying to tell people to support you when people like me can't even, I'm working overtime just to get 1 or 2 donations. Not that I demanded or asked for it. That's up to you. I'm still going to do this. But the opportunity is there. You're trying to get donations, and you're getting corporate money. You're talking about nickeling and diming.
And they deserve better treatment. They deserve better pay, especially when 6 of their own colleagues have died from this virus because they're doing their jobs.
It's a lot of nurses that have died from COVID. A lot of people in the food industry, in the fast food industry, in the nursing industry, the security industry, you name it. They're not the only ones. Said that happened, But there's people who died also. But where was AOC at their rally?
Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa, Anna, whoa.
So whoa, Anna. Nickel and diming is part of the process. Y'all voted for a person who take money from nickel and dimers.
Nickel and diming, having more money in the hands of American people while we're suffering through this pandemic, while we're suffering through so much economic injustice and inequality, is the best possible thing for the entire country, because money in people's hands means more buying, which means that, insofar as we believe in a free market, that market can actually thrive, right? But I think the larger point that you're making in the second part of the story is really important. How Representative Ocasio-Cortez comes out of movements and stands with movements. And I believe that in movements will be the only opportunity we have with this new administration.
What movement have she come out of? Yeah, she was a fast food worker, but she didn't really go. Was she really out there campaigning and shouting with a bullhorn for equal pay? Or was it something she just personally believed in?
To really align this administration in a real way with actual changes, with actual transformations, so that people in this country no longer see our government as just a bunch of elites who are hypocrites.
And speaking of hypocrites, what about this
So
hypocrite?
it really speaks to the fact that they are possibly nickeling and diming these people who are essential workers and have put their lives at risk. And that really speaks to just the fact of capitalism being as sadistic and as evil as it is. And it is amazing that AOC is out there speaking with people and also.
See, public PR. It's a public PR. This is what you do. The headlines say AOC skips inauguration to help union workers, trying to make her look good, trying to give her energy back, trying to get her supporters to re-support her. Bruh, come on, AOC. Let me finish this and I'm done.
So calling attention to this problem.
All right, guys. Speaking of nickel and dimers.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.
Guess who?
Oh boy. Look at here, look here. Nickel and diamond, talking about nickel and diamond. Chink Yu is one of the biggest nickel and diamond around. He's asking people to become a member of an organization that's fully paid by Clinton donors. It's like CNN telling you we got an exclusive club we want you to be a part of. Bro, you got a club you want me to be a part of? And what, I don't get access to that? I don't get to hear the lies that y'all, what, you telling special lies over here? Guys, my whole point of this video was this. AOC poised and put herself out there as a fighter for the people. But yet, since she got elected, I've seen limited fight actually happening on the ground here. The talk is good in Washington, D.C. The posture is good in Washington, D.C. She done been on The View. She been all Hollywood and everything. The talk is good, but actual things getting done here in the Bronx, here in Woodside, not as much as you think. Well, she can't do it all by herself, you know. She can't do it by herself. Bruh, go ahead with that. Everybody knows she ain't by herself. She got brutalized on the Medicare for All debate. She knew she was wrong. She didn't have the guts or the gonads or the balls or the basketball or the ovaries, whatever you want to call it. She didn't have the internal fortitude. I can't say intestinal fortitude or she didn't have that to go up against Nancy Pelosi. She feared Nancy Pelosi. She already lost one of her gigs that Nancy Pelosi normally important people to, and that freaked her out and just got admitted. I'm telling you that just how it is, and she caved. She caved. She caved, man. She caved. She's more popular than Nancy. She could have been threatened to take her position. Is there an age limit on being House Speaker? She's more popular than Nancy, 3 times more popular than Nancy. Nancy's popularity sucks. It's at the lowest of the bottom. She's up there with Mitch McConnell. Everybody hate Mitch, but you got to believe there's people on the right that hate Nancy just as much. And she couldn't even use her leverage over Nancy to say, if you don't vote for this, then I'm going to have to be forced to run against you. I don't want to run against you. I want you to have that position, Mama Bear. But Mama Bear, couples names. If you don't run, if you don't do it, I'm going to have to run. She ain't have that. So she took a hit in popularity and it was a big hit. She failed in that endeavor. And look, it's not just her, it's other people too. But she personally took a real big hit. She should have kept her mouth closed about it and just went with it. And because she took that hit, they got to play makeover. Because she was threatened in the Capitol, she's scared. And I understand that. You scared. And look, ain't nothing wrong with being the woman that you are. Just admit, now, I'm not going to that. Them folks crazy. They trying to kill us over there. I'm not going where they trying to kill us. I'd rather go somewhere where they, and you know, it ain't easy to get to me. You don't know where I'm at. But, you know, they trying to kill me there. I ain't going. Don't use just say, no, I'm not going because I got something greater I need to do for the greater good. That's more important than Joe Biden's and Kamala Harris inauguration. I'm glad they won. I'm glad they're president. We could drop the pseudo names, but I have something more important to do. Get out of here. You didn't do that because it was more important. You didn't do that. It just was an opportunistic time to capitalize on getting your energy back up. Now, because they're going to see AOC, they're going to assume AOC decided that fighting for working people were more important than going out there and show myself in unity with Joe Biden. And to some people, they're eating it up. And then you got news media like the Young Turks that's going to back up that talking point. Look what she's doing for working people. You got to support her. You got to push her. I'm saying, where was she before then? Why all of a sudden now she want to do that? Is she doing it for them or is she doing it for her public image? Is she trying to get a makeover? Why is she doing that? Where was she when SEIU? Where was she when TWU had something? Where was she where was she when Unite Here was trying to get something done in New York? Where was she when that 1199 was trying to get some stuff done? Now, like I said, I may be wrong, but I didn't see her. And I go to a lot of them, man. A lot of them. And I go as a reporter. I don't go as a union organizer, and I am a union organizer. I've done union negotiations. And then lastly, my whole point is she can't sit here and talk about I'm gonna fight for you to get $1 when you can't even fight for Medicare for all. To me, that's crazy. I'm with you for $1 raise. Yay! Well, you could have saved them $2. You could have gave them $2 raise if you sit there and push Medicare for all by any means necessary, other than taking a gun into the doggone Senate chambers like a fool. But you didn't do it. So I'm done, guys. Was this a makeover? Or is this a publicity stunt? Or is she trying to remake her image? Or is she really genuinely caring about the American people? You leave your opinions at the bottom. I'm Rob Brown with the Rob Report. I got to holler at, got to get out of here. Got somebody I got to go see. Peace.